Good afternoon. Let's see who shows up. There's some folks. Buck does it. NSB Custom Cars, D. Scaglione. Kaylee. Unfinished project. What are you doing here? And Leighton Welding. 162 Customizing. Awesome. Patrick, welcome. So how is everyone this afternoon? Hope everyone had a chance to go to service this morning and had a great morning. We had a great service today, and it is hot out here. I don't know where you live, what it's like, but it is hot out here. I think it was 91 when we pulled into the driveway coming home.
And you have to smile because you're live.
Driving probably going to be spotty. Let's see. Doing great. God is good. It's rainy and cold. And that's why I don't live in Oregon anymore. Because it seems like it's always rainy and cold in Oregon. I figure we'll give it a little bit of time here. I figure I'll visit with y'all for a little while, and before I give out all the results of the contest, we had quite a few people actually participated. I had 27 participants. Well, maybe we'll get lucky and get some rain here again before too long, but hopefully not in the next 4 days because we're laying down hay this afternoon. So give us 4 days and then get it all baled up and put up and all that. Then it can rain again. Rainy day in New York. What part of New York are you in, Mr. Scaglione? Because I know not everywhere is New York City. There's actually some really beautiful country up there in New York. $33 days to go. $85 and cloudy, little rain.
How many do you have on?
I'm not sure. I think about a dozen.
Okay.
Mr. Dean, welcome. Tom Cook, welcome.
I wonder if I can chat.
Mm-hmm. I may get trolled here in just a minute. Mama Hoop just grabbed her phone, so I'm probably going to get trolled here in a minute. Jason Nida, welcome. Like that is bad.
Come on, kids.
Let's see. Yeah, there she is. Smackies, welcome. Awesome. Man, we're going to have a full house here. I was kind of hoping Brother Bear might slip in here, but he's probably out there working on that old 58. So I just got to let you know, unfinished project. You kind of got me in a bit of a predicament. My wife is absolutely convinced that that you really don't exist and that you're just my alter ego, and I have another address somewhere where I send all my stuff. So, you know. Yeah, I tried to get in on that live last night with Bear Rose, and I was having all kinds of trouble. Mama and I were at the rodeo, and well, for some reason they didn't worry about my internet service. So I don't know. uh, yeah, me and Mama, when we go out on date night, it's usually something like that, either going to the auction or going to the rodeo or the tractor pulls or something like that. Hopefully they'll get a tractor pull around here so we can do something like that. Let's see here. Rodeo Rodeo Drive. Yeah. A little different than the one in California. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and put a link up here. If anyone wants to just jump in here with me and we can just kind of have us a little chat for a little bit. Or I'll give it a July 2nd. There is a tractor pull in Cassville. Fantastic. We'll be there. Oh, no, July 2nd I can't because, well, maybe. Depends on what time it is because our church is having our America celebration and they're having, fireworks and all that. And, oh, Russell, welcome. Yeah, we're going to have a big celebration. We're going to make homemade apple pie and hand cranked ice cream contest. So that ought to be a lot of fun. And, a lot of the old timers, they really like to, do the stuff, traditionally. So, and welcome, Thumper, man. I'm glad to see you here. Yeah, we have an awful lot of events with our church, a lot of community events. As a matter of fact, we had our um, backup pastor, our associate pastor, was preaching today because our pastor is in Salida, Colorado today with the Wild Horse Ministry, and he'll be back this week. And then this coming weekend, we have a car and bike show. And then July 2nd, or no, July 20, or June 24th, we have another Wild Horse Ministry at just down the road from our church. And then July 2nd is our America celebration. And we have a hot pepper eating contest in August. And we have all kinds of really cool stuff going on. Well, hello,
hey, Mike. How are we doing today?
man. I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Oh, feeling good, man. I was out messing around. You see all the dirt. And I
Yeah.
looked at the clock. It said like 2 minutes and two. I said, "Man, I gotta go. Mike's on. Mike's on." And
Well,
I was thinking earlier that I forgot to congratulate you last night on my live that you made the 500, man.
yeah. Oh,
Congratulations.
that's all good, man. I'm stoked about it, and man, I'm stoked to be able to share with everybody and all that, and so yeah,
Cool.
it's been a fun ride, man. I mean, and it happened pretty quick, actually. I mean, if you think about it, I just started my YouTube channel December 18th.
Yeah.
So basically 6 months.
Yeah, and I don't know how long I've been talking to you. Ever since you did them wires, I think, or started at the Fireball.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit before that.
Well, and my intro with the Fireball on it,
Uh-huh.
Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy is the one who made that intro for me.
Yeah, I
And
remember you telling me.
yeah, and then I don't know how I did it, but somehow I can't get back to it in my gallery or something. I tried taking it off of my I tried getting it off of my email from the attachment, and it won't let me do it. I don't know. It doesn't like me right now, so that's why I've been using my original intro for now. I figure I'll get it back squared away again here before too long.
Yeah, you might have to download it off the email.
I tried that, and it wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, and then said something about I didn't have the right format or something. I don't.
Oh.
I'm not a tech guy. I don't know a lot of this. I'm lucky to be able to type my name in here.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was just messing with that TubeBuddy stuff this morning, and I'm lost.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I tried doing that, and I lost 15 minutes of footage trying to make a thumbnail, and I was like, "Yep, I'm done with that." So, so if at the beginning of one of my videos, instead of a thumbnail, it's just me going, that's why. Thumper, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I like it. I really like that intro. I mean, because that really captures it really captures the whole essence of what I'm doing and stuff.
Yeah, so, I like the mischief part. See what kind of mischief we can get into today.
My daughter actually got me a customized sticker I put on my back window. It says, Let's go see let's go see what kind of mischief we can get into today. I love it.
I don't know. Hey, Mike, did you see my my business card?
Nice.
I put the QR code on there.
Yeah. See, and I
And
didn't think
so-
about that before, about getting a QR code for it. And then I found out after I'd already got mine that Buzz did that thing. And when I get my next ones, I'll get that QR code put on there. And yeah. But
what happened with me is I ordered it, right? And I forgot to hit the place order button.
oh yeah.
So the big guy was looking out for me, and right before I ordered it, the QR codes came out. So I went and I edited it and put the QR codes on and hit the button this time.
Nice. JB, you got Lars hanging out with you today, or you got him doing something useful?
Hong Kong Fooey, 60-degree V respect.
Hong Kong Fooey? I love
Yeah,
Hong
that
Kong Fooey.
Dean Stevens there. He comes up with some good quotes there.
Yeah. Oh. Well, then I guess we got a pretty good crowd in here. I mean, we can still hang out and chat and all that, but I'm going to go ahead and announce our winners from the contest. What I did was I took a screenshot last night at 8:00 whenever I was of all my comments, and the count at that time. And like I said, my wife is 100% convinced that my alter ego is Unfinished Project and that I have a double life somewhere.
well, he was the Tin Man yesterday.
Yeah,
messing with all that anti-seize.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, with 14 likes at 8 p.m. yesterday when it ended, Unfinished Project with the Blockbuster was the number one. And Nathan with 5 likes at Smacky's Garage with the Coronet, the C-O-R-O and then the N-N-N, Coronet. Where are we? There we are. Yeah, that one is second. So, and then 3 ties for third place was Mopar Mitch with just the Hoopty because, well, and that makes sense. That's what we've been calling it all this time. Bubba Ayers with 3 with Hoopty Doopty, which, I get it. And Bad Tree Productions with 3 likes. They came up with 51 problems.
Yeah.
Or Area 51.
That was pretty clever too.
So those 3 all tied for third place. And in the interest of fairness, I'm going to go ahead and send all 3 of them a prize, a t-shirt. Now, I had a whole bunch of 1s and 2s and stuff like that. And so what I'm going to do, I've got a list of everybody who participated here in the comments. Out of Order Garage, Stan Nelson, Hubie's Garage, Buck Does It, Tom Cook, Terry Grover, Mike Lingo, D. Scaglione, T.I. Mopar 67, Dizzy Izzy, 162 Customizing, Willie Do It and Betty Don't, Best Off-Road Outlaw, LB Bruins, Buff's Garage, Hemi Hog, and just D. Track and Travel with Rick, Wendy English, Rich 220 Automotive Restoration, Jupiter Mustang Mike, and Jeff Holenda. Everybody is going to get a sticker sent to them. All you got to do is email me at my email on my homepage and give me your address to send it to, and I will get it sent to you. I may or may not have unfinished projects address. So, unfinished project, man. All you got to do is, give me your shirt size and whether you want it in black or white, and then I'll get your stuff on your way. Smacky's Garage, same thing. Give me your shirt size and whether you want it in black or white, because those are the only two colors I got available right now. And shoot me your address. I'll get it on the way along with a Big Mike's Hoopty Barn sticker, and Mopar Mitch, Bubba Ayers, and Blake, Bad Tree Productions. Send me your t-shirt sizes and black or white, what you want. Send me an address to send them to, and I'll get them in the mail this week. Get them headed your way, man. So I just, I want to be inclusive to everybody, man. I appreciate it. I wouldn't be where I'm at without everybody, So
Congratulations, everybody.
What's that?
Thank you, Mike. I said, congratulations, everybody, and thank you, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And absolute congratulations to everybody. Extra large black. Perfect. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been a hoot, man. I really, really love just, I love doing this, man. I really love it. It's fun, it's entertaining, and I look forward to putting out a lot more content. And this week I'm trying to secure tires for the Blockbuster. I can't say the Hoopty anymore. Or maybe the Hoopty Blockbuster or the Blockbuster Hoopty. But anyway, so now I got to secure some tires for the Blockbuster because I got to get it to the car show this weekend. And so I'll be working on that this week. And I'm going to be working on my paint scheme that I'm going to be using to put the name on there and all that. And I think everybody's really going to like it. I've got an idea, a really solid idea of my paint theme, but I think everybody's really going to like it. It's going to be really kind of like retro NASCAR kind of,
Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely, 162, man. I tell you what, I thank all of you, because I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for, everybody out there who watches and likes and subscribes and all that, and share my videos with other people, because that's what does it. I couldn't do it on my own.
Yeah, and the comments too. I love the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then all the lives. I've been watching more lives now than I have been videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been getting in on a few of those. It's just lately I've been so busy on the farm, I haven't done a whole lot of content in the shop. I mean, like yesterday, I spent all day graduating our little pullets, our new chickens. Mm-hmm. We had to graduate them to outdoors, and I had to separate the coop so that they can get matured to where I can integrate them with the laying hens, and I spent all day doing that, and then brush hogging horse pens and stuff like that. So
always something to do, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of work on having a farm. You'll never get bored if you have a farm. And today we're laying down hay, so that's going to be fun, and it'll be a couple of days, be getting it all picked up and baled up, put up. Oh, and I hope it's just like 100 degrees throwing that hay around, because it's never good unless it's 100 degrees.
Makes you feel like you accomplished something, huh?
Makes you feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I just saw the Zero G posted there. You busted out a lot of content in a short amount of time, and you did.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's one of the things you told me. You told me, hey, keep on hammering the content.
That's right, man. And
That's
even
right.
if it's not all automotive, I mean, because I share my personal life out here on the farm too, you know, when we're building the pond and stuff, because you never know. I mean, how exciting was that whenever I was sharing with the pond and then all of a sudden I find a buried truck, you know, I mean, how cool was that? If I hadn't have thought, you know, to include that, you know, I mean, who knows?
Right, like they say, just hit record.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome.
And then there's other times I think I hit the record and I hit the hit the picture button. You know,
Oh yeah.
Bear Rose was just
talking
for an hour to the video, and it was just a picture.
Mm-hmm. I've done that several times.
Yeah.
I was like, I had my wife. I asked her to record for me one time, and all she did was took a picture of my backside, and I'm like, that ain't going to work, honey. Nobody wants to see all that.
Yeah. Because then at work I use my phone to take pictures of things, and I'm hitting it. It's taking videos now.
Yeah.
So I go back and forth between the pictures and the videos.
All right. Well, have a good day, sir. Appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah. Good luck there, Mike Senior, 340. Happy Sunday.
Working on Sonic. Chevy Sonic, huh?
Yeah. That's a little one.
Yeah, buddy.
Buff's Garage there says, you know, record everything. That's how you find the golden nuggets.
Yeah.
We'll lose them because I had it. I thought, man, I can't wait to put that in there. And it wasn't there. It was a picture.
Right.
But I guess I wasn't supposed to have that snippet.
Yeah. During my editing is really shoddy most of the time. Because most of the time I just really don't take a whole lot of, you know, I don't take a whole lot of editing effort, I guess you'd say. I mean, I could learn more about it and do more, I guess, professional type videos, but man, that's just not who I am. You know,
you do well. I think you do very well. I like watching your videos.
I mean, usually I just, you know, I always want to be authentic. You know what I mean? And this is just what I'm doing, who I'm being, and what I'm doing. Doing some plastic welding right now. Well, I hope you don't burn your fingers.
Yeah, that's called crazy glue. Weld your finger to it.
Let's see. Mopar Mitch, what's the email address again? It should be on my home page. If you go to my channel, should be right there.
It should be right in your about. I think it's in the about.
Let me go here and see channel about. Well, there's a link there, but yeah, it's on my about page. I haven't figured out how to put the actual link there. I don't know. I'm not very good at it, but I do have it written there.
It'll highlight that it's a link.
Yeah, well, it didn't do it for me.
Or you could just copy and paste it.
Oh, okay.
You know, but if you have Gmail and I have Gmail, then I could just hit it'll turn blue and I hit the Gmail. It takes me right to my Gmail, and then I can write an email.
Of course, for my honey hole. Like rough and real editing, and I like to goof around with my videos. Well, I tell you, you're really good at the videos. That one short you put up was a little bit, well, direct, I'll say. When I saw you at the gas pump, that was a bit direct. You say rough, yeah.
I have to check. I don't know if I'm subscribed to Temper.
Oh, you got to be, man.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them all the time, and there was somebody the other night that Muscle City Madness, Ruben. I thought I
What?
was subscribed to him. I went in and looked, and I wasn't. So
Really?
I'll go check. But I see these guys all the time.
Yeah. What are you doing for audio? Well, right now I'm doing a Samsung Chromebook. On my videos for I mean I'm an Android guy. This right here, I've had this Samsung Galaxy S7 since
Wow.
like a year
That's old.
after it came out.
Yeah.
Hey, it still charges. It still works. So,
I think I had my S7. It was in 2013 and 14.
yeah, I don't know. I've had it for an awful long time and it still
Yeah.
works. And I'm always of a mind that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, well,
And
the Androids are easier to transfer files to and from
yeah,
than an
yeah.
iPhone. An iPhone, you got to go through iTunes.
Yeah, I like my little phone. It's just I know how to get to everything on. Well, maybe not everything. I haven't gone through everything, but I've got a couple of apps on there that I used to use for my business whenever I was still working. It's got a thing on there called Genius Scan, and I can scan my invoice book whenever I was filling out an invoice for a builder. I could scan it, turn it into a black and white PDF, email it to them, and then they could deposit money directly into my checking account.
Yeah.
I didn't have to chase a check.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Apple. I don't think. I think you have to download an app and all this other stuff to make it a PDF. But like with the Android, it's easy.
Yeah, it was a really good deal. I mean, I downloaded that app from the App Store, but it's called Genius Scan, and a couple of my builders and we bank at the same bank, and that way we just signed off to where we could deposit money in each other's account. We can't like take money from each other, but we could deposit money in each other's account, and it worked out really well. That's the most problem. Audio, boom mic, shotgun mic. Wow, GoPro. Wow. See, and that sounds like an awful lot of trouble to me.
Yeah. My son just gave me or let me use a whole big setup because he said my sound wasn't good enough or whatever. And I'm like, man, I don't want to go through all that.
And my
Put
son,
this big boom thing up here and a big mic, and I was
can
looking at
fix
it yesterday, and I'm like, do I really want to go through all that stuff?
yeah,
Nah, I'll just go with what.
my son convinced me to buy it's like a cheaper version of a GoPro. It's like a Vivitar or something or another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's called, but anyway, it's like a GoPro, and he's supposed to help me learn how to use this stupid thing. Have you seen any difference in my videos? Nope. Because I haven't started I tried using it a couple times, ended up taking some pictures of myself, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, if you go that way, then you need an editing software to take it off your little SD card.
Right.
And then log it. So you need a computer to do it. But if you do everything on your phone, you can do everything from your phone.
Right. And that's what I usually do. I usually upload everything from my phone. I'm planning on this evening uploading some video, maybe tomorrow, from the rodeo last night. I didn't get a whole lot because I didn't have a whole lot of storage space, but I got some old boys getting thrown off the backs of bulls.
Yeah. See, now that's one thing I haven't done much of is video with my phone and then edit it and then send it. I mean, little shorts and stuff I've done, but not extend it. Another thing I haven't is gone live with the phone yet. I don't know. can imagine it ain't that hard.
Yeah. Let's see here.
There's Travis. Hi, Travis.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this link up here again for you, Travis, if you so choose to come in. There's a link, or anyone else, anyone who wants to pop in here, man, just jump on in. I'd really like to see Unfinished Project with a smile so that my wife won't think it's me.
I think he's looking for a GoPro giveaway.
Yeah.
But if you get a bunch of people in, Mike, I'll step out and let them in.
Well, I don't usually get a whole bunch of people in, but
Right.
All right. Let's see what we can do here.
There's
here we are.
What's up, guys?
There's the riffraff. Awesome. We got to have a little riffraff in here.
Oh yeah, it was a late night last night. Went out to the street races. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He has to maintain his mystique.
Yeah. He did tell me he was a ninja.
Well, I actually had Unfinished Project on my very first live, and he showed us the sewing machine. Yeah. I think my wife probably thinks it was just a stand-in.
Probably what I need this morning.
Yeah. So where'd you go to the races last night?
Went down to Rivergate, which is a local place here in Memphis. If you've ever seen, was it the first 3 seasons of Street Outlaws?
Spots. I mean,
yeah, but they actually built the street there for Street Outlaws, and then they moved to another spot.
Nice.
So it's a really good spot to race. It's out in the middle of nowhere next to the train yard. There's really not much you can hit out there. It's fields on both sides.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's a pretty good place to run.
Yeah. When I was up in Oregon, we lived, back the first time I lived there was in 1999. We lived right by the Woodburn drag strip. And
you know where that's at?
Well, we were just a quarter of a mile from the Woodburn drag strip. So we could just walk over there to the races and stuff. And my favorite of all was the oldies but goodies, and I'll never forget my favorite vehicle from the oldies but goodies was a 48 Ford truck named Priscilla. And it had a blown 460 in it. 4-wheel drive, mind you.
Wow.
And had 3-pound, back when we used to have the metal coffee cans.
Yeah.
3-pound coffee cans on the ends of the headers sticking out of the fenders. And
nice.
It was all rusted and stuff. And on the back, on the window where it said class, it was P/U, pro ugly. And that was the greatest. Of course, my personalities.
Tom Cook, I just uploaded a video from last night. It's on my page. It's about a 7-minute video. So you all go check that out.
Hello, Renegade.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just old, not used to getting out that late anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
I think I see him talking about how many hours people have now. I think I'm just now getting around 1,000 or so, something like that.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out if the watch hours are calendar year or 365.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because at 365, I'm at like 37K or 3.7K. So I'd almost have the 4,000 watch hours if I was at 1,000.
Mackie says they are 365.
Okay, so it's a rolling average for 365.
Right on. So when I get up to 365, we'll see where I'm at. I got a ways to go. I still got another, I don't know, 6 months to go.
I'll be. I'm gonna get something to show you, Big Mike. I'll be right back.
Okay. Since
Oh,
mine,
Smackey's is doing good.
you betcha. Absolutely.
I think I have 175 watch hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I'm up to about 1,000 now.
But
But
the one page says 250 watch hours, and when I go into the monetization thing, it says 175 or something.
old wood burner, that's cool. Watch hours roll every day. Nice. And 10,000 hours. Woo wee. Must be rolling in the dough, right?
And I think he's under 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah. I think you
Yeah.
need 4,000 watch hours to get monetized. That's what I understand too. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
All right, Mike. I'll show you this real quick, and it'll probably make you cringe because you like these
Uh-oh.
collector cars.
I know you told me about there was a one got I've got that one. Yeah.
At least the case didn't get open. Case is still
Yeah.
case is still sealed, but the box is
how to get on that one.
closed.
Let's see here. Try that one. Nope. Try that one. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I'm still not good at this stuff.
Oh, you're trying to get big screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do this, and nope, it doesn't like me. I don't know.
That's fine. People can see. But yeah, my daughter ripped it open because she wanted to look at it.
How old's your daughter?
13.
Oh.
So
Okay.
yeah, she should have known better.
Well, we still love our kids, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had.
Can't trade them in on money, so you got to love them.
It's pretty funny. I had. Let's see. Try this one. Whoop, wrong. Oh, there we go. So I had a model that I was building, and it was a 68 Dodge Charger, and I did a lot of custom parts on it myself. I mean, I think you guys have probably seen some of my custom Hot Wheels. I go into great detail on my stuff. And I mean, I took some heavy black thread and made custom spark plug wires on it and all that stuff. I mean, I had that, dude, I had it 95% done. And a child destroyed it. I was up first, was anger and disbelief and just being upset, and I was just like, oh, I couldn't believe it. And then I had to realize, this is a child, when I was child, I thought as a child, I didn't realize things I realize now as an adult, and yeah, but I have not built a model since then. I mean, it was like a punch in the gut, and that was about 15 years ago, something like that. So, yeah. Yeah.
Man, I haven't done models in probably 40 years.
Yeah.
50 years. Probably 50 years.
Well, and I enjoy model building and stuff. I actually sold all of my model building stuff, though. I sold all my paints, all of my stuff, all my spare parts. I had boxes of just spare parts, spare engines and tires and wheels and hood scoops and side pipes and just all different things that I could customize stuff with. And I sold all of it, every bit of it. And
I had a friend that used to build the long dragsters, the rails, and he used to use like a brass rod and then solder all the joints together.
Wow.
And man, he was intricate.
Yeah.
I don't have that patience.
Yeah, I still got to build that 78 pickup I got up in the closet.
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple of models, but I haven't really got myself there to do it yet, because when I get into doing something like that, it's not like a 1-day process for me. I mean, I'll have 100 hours on one model,
Oh yeah, I do just a little bit at a time and make sure it's perfect.
Right. And I may have, the one I'm wanting to put together is a 69 Daytona, but it's a U.S. Postal Service 69 Daytona. And
Okay.
yeah, it's a very unique, model.
Right.
But I also, I like to build custom Hot Wheels too. And that takes a while,
Oh yeah.
I've built, I don't know, probably a dozen custom Hot Wheels, but that was just something I was playing with, whenever I started seeing them popping up on eBay and stuff like that. And I just started, I said, well, surely I can do that. What is a spin welder kit?
Never heard of it.
I have no idea what that is. I'm watching a 70 Dodge Challenger RT for 15 years, still sitting in the same place. Wished I could buy her and get her back on the road. I'm telling you,
Find me one too.
Yeah.
Been watching a 70 Roadrunner sit there and go away, go to dust sitting at a storage unit. Guy doesn't want to sell it.
Yeah, I know. Well, by golly, I want to see a 51. Where am I? Blockbuster model myself.
The Blockbuster.
The Blockbuster. Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing about that you probably don't know about me, or I may have mentioned it before, but I don't know if I did or not. That him calling it the Blockbuster, there's one block that I hope that it doesn't bust, and that's me. Yeah. Because my nickname is Block.
Oh.
My nieces and nephews call me Block. They call me Uncle Block. And at church, they know me as Block. My older friends know me as Block. Back whenever I was running the business and we had a whole bunch of guys working for us, we did nothing but foundations and commercial block work for about 7 years. And we laid 1 million blocks in 7 years
Wow.
between me and my crews. And that's a lot of blocks, you know. And my personal best day was with me laying, spreading my own mud and everything. It was a short day because I was just finishing up a foundation. I wanted to get out of the sun because it was going to be a hot day. I laid 685 blocks in 6 hours.
Wow.
Dang, you was moving.
Yeah, but I'm not as fast as my oldest brother. My oldest brother, oh, sorry. Hold on just a second here. Yeah, hold on just 1 second here. So my oldest brother's 60 years old, and he can still outlay 30, 25, 30-year-old men. His best day, in 8.5 hours, he laid 1,050 blocks.
Wow.
And I mean, but that's all he's done since he was 16 years old.
Yeah.
But
And he's probably not working that hard, really, because once you get kind of in the groove and you know all the shortcuts,
yeah,
it don't take that long once you learn all that stuff.
And he's the one who taught me, and he taught me that learn the technique first, the speed will come. Just do the technique over and over and over until you perfect the technique, and then work on the speed. And still, he's the cleanest, fastest block layer that I know.
Me myself, I don't think I could lay 1,000 blocks in a year.
Yeah. Who was mixing the mud? We had 2 laborers out there trying to keep up. Had 2 laborers, one stocking the blocks and one mixing and putting out mud. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough to keep up with stuff like that, you know. And I really enjoyed it back when I was young, before I had so many broken bones and all that stuff, and so many ailments. And so anyway, I'm I'm old and fat now. I don't want to lay blocks.
But that's a cool thing you just said there about having the nickname Block, and then he gives you the Blockbuster. I mean,
right. Yeah, and he said
that's fitting. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I figure, you know what? It was just meant to be, I guess.
So that's really going to throw your wife on a loop now.
Yeah. Yeah, unless I do get busted on it too. Yeah. Hopefully it won't land on top of me and bust me. So how many sides does a good block need? Well, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about laying a split face block, it only needs to be straight on the inside. If you're talking about laying a block on a foundation, just the part that's going to be seen, and it all has to line up on the outside. And obviously they should all be within 1/8 of an inch on elevation and within a 1/4 of an inch on plumb, no taller than 6 feet. So I used to always, so now I don't know if I should call you Mike or Block.
Yeah. Big Block's Hoopty barn.
Yeah, I tell you what, I really enjoyed it while I was doing it. I really enjoy not doing it now, though. It would probably be better for me if I would get back out there and do some real work, you know. But yeah, it's overrated.
Work, yes.
Big Block Mike. Yeah, it's pretty funny too, because when I was in high school, I went to high school with a guy named Mike Block. It wasn't me.
Yeah, we had a girl named Brooke Fish.
That's Bear Rose.
There's Bear Rose.
By golly.
Hi, Barrels.
I was wondering if you might stop by.
Yeah, he's only an hour. I guess it's 1:00 for him. Or no,
Yeah.
1:00 for him.
Yeah, I figured he might stop by.
Yeah, because I came in at 1:00 and here I'm on Eastern time, and I thought, no, I have to go in at 2.
Man, I can't believe it's already been an hour. We've been. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah, it flies. I was like a little over 2 hours last night, and then we went right from me went to like an 8-minute gap, and then went over to Bear Rose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he's in the rain too.
He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I was going to ask him about a. I was going to ask him about a news feed story that I saw about a bunch of old boys getting arrested up there in Idaho at some kind of a rally, and I was wondering if that was anywhere near him. This is funny. Whoops, missed it.
What's up?
There it is. We had a plumber in Dunedin City Council named Mr. Drain.
Nice.
I'm with you, UP. I couldn't agree more. I was telling my wife the same thing. You just have to be careful about how you word things, you know. Let's see. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I think something like that.
Yeah, it's way up on top.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So we got a few people sending in some emails. Yay. Hot in Florida, huh? Well, it's hot here for sure.
It turned out muggy this morning. I went outside earlier, and it's finally gotten muggy here.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
probably only about to breathe, but you got air to breathe.
well, we came home about 12:30 from church, and it was already 91 here.
Wow.
Yeah, and muggy.
Muggy.
Like,
Yeah, I got muggy.
I think it was like 91 with 98% humidity or something. It's ridiculous.
We get that 105 humidity here.
Yeah, it's just, I tell you, I sweated so much yesterday. By when you sweat and then you dry out and you sweat and you dry out and you take off your pants and they can stand up by themselves. You know what I mean? From all the salt in them.
They're walking around the house for you.
Yeah. All you do, I've got to run. See y'all on the next one. Blockbuster.
Take it easy.
All right. Thank you, brother. And congratulations
See ya, UP.
again, man. Somebody once said they don't think that it's really even a contest. They think that it's just a property transfer from me. But I will tell you, he lives a considerable distance from me. That's all I'll say. I ain't going to say where he is because he hasn't said, but he lives a considerable distance from me.
I was trying to contest I can come up with for my 1,000 mark.
Yeah.
Can't really think of anything I want to really give away right now.
Well, I'm going to be trotting towards that 1,000 mark, hopefully, eventually.
Well, they say once you get over the 500, it starts going a little faster.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's like John, you don't pay attention to it as much.
yeah.
So it
Exactly.
seems like it's jumping.
That makes sense.
When I'm up close to 900, I'm starting to really start watching it again.
Nice.
Things go down.
Yeah. Let's see. What? Hold on here. I had to start a fire this morning. 34 degrees outside. My goodness.
No.
And that's why I
Where
would
is that at?
not work. I think it's in northern Michigan.
Oh, jeez.
It's everyone's project they're working on. Well, I think pretty much everyone knows mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on my Buick yet. I just put the 4-barrel on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on old red, which is a E5 Dodge pickup.
Yeah. Well,
Kind of got to the point where I got to get parts now to go any further.
yeah, and I'm waiting on parts for the Green Goblin still. So, before I can finish that one up and get the engine in it.
Yeah, I'm glad a lot of my parts came with the car.
Yeah, no kidding.
My God,
That's a win there for sure.
I had to hardly get anything. A couple hose clamps, a couple bolts, and an alternator bracket.
Yeah.
I gotta get a starter, some exhaust gaskets, some more wiring stuff. Ran out of crimp box and stuff, so I gotta get some of that stuff. And a few little odds and ends I gotta get for the truck.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping here in about a month it'll be started and at least running.
Missing
I
the
got-
catch brackets. Oh. Yeah, I guess
I got to build a stand for the shifter.
A Lake Superior. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Buff's Garage should talk to Unfinished Project. Apparently, he finished the project today. Working on not working. Too dang hot out there for a fat guy like me, man. I'm telling you what, me too. I tell you, I've been eating salad the last 2 days because I'm getting fat.
Hey, let's go over to Punisher's. He's smoking ribs and ice cold beer.
Hey, that sounds good.
I'll take ribs.
I'll go with the ribs. I don't drink
Yeah.
beer, but I'll go for some ribs. You know
Yeah,
me and barbecue, man. I'm about it.
I'll bring my own liquid.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have. I don't know. I won't think I'd have any liquid left in me. 108 heat index. Ooh,
Ooh.
yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck. Working on some.
Cord blood.
Oop. All right. Well, happy birthday to the wife, man.
Have a great day, JB.
Tell her you got her a T-shirt for her birthday. or keep the shirt and give her a sticker.
There you go.
Ah.
What's this? I'm losing weight down 6,000 pounds. 600,000
80
pounds.
million pounds.
Yeah.
My golly.
Did you do lose a house?
I was going to say, many, many moons ago, I used to not be as nice as I am now. And I would tell people, hey, you want to lose 10 pounds of ugly fat? Cut off your head. Uh, uh, nice. Looking at regular old RV 460 for cost, but I'm open to what I can find to make work for cheap.
Yeah, looks like he'll have an engine just looking for a car to put it in, or a truck.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. I'm about engine poor, you know. I mean, I've got 3 440s, and I've got a couple of 318s and 225, and you know, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not lacking an engine, you know. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I should highlight that or not, but
No, that just needs to be left alone.
I'll just say the LOL.
Skip over that one.
I was gonna say every male member of your family, or
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. I'm kind of like you, Hoopty. I got like 3 extra engines right now and no cars to put them in.
Right?
Yeah, I think that makes it harder, you know, to pick the car.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you know the thing is when I one of my 440s, I bought a. Oh no, I got 440s. I lied. Anyway, one of my 440s, I bought it out of a running driving RV. And the guy was scrapping out the RV, and I bought the motor and transmission for my Charger. I was just going to change out the tail shaft and, you know, just get it on the road. Yeah, I just wanted to get it on the road. And then whenever that guy made me a deal on all his Mopar stuff, I was like, well, by golly, you know, he's already been racing it. It's bored out 40 over, and, you know, yeah, it needs some machine work, but, you know. And then my other buddy, he's like, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well do this. Might as well. And so there it went. Oh, my goodness. Now it's really a show. Yeah. We got Mr. Wilburn.
John's on here. Morning, John.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there was a guy not too long ago was selling a horde of Mopar stuff, but I didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
He probably had 15 to 20 engines, rear ends, transmissions, but you had to buy it all as one bulk, and you wanted $10,000 for it all.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Not everybody's just got $10,000 laying around.
Right.
I mean, so I've got like $7,000 in my Charger and building my Charger, but it's taken me 2 years to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't just got $10,000 just laying around there to, you know, drop on a bunch of stuff.
Right. I mean, it would have been nice to have.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I even if I had the money in the bank, I don't think I could come up off that for just a grab bag of miscellaneous parts.
Well, plus you need a place to store it too.
That's true, and I don't have that.
So, Thumper, I'm going to send you my address, and you know you can use UPS, FedEx, whatever. You know, he said he's got all these without homes. Well, you know.
Well, I'll take a 5.3 because I'm kind of thinking about doing a 5.3 swap on Mighty Mouse with a turbo. If it's free now, I don't want to pay for it.
Right.
Yeah, but shipping will cost you a lot anyway.
Well, it depends on where he's at. I might just go up and get it.
Oh, okay. Well, even so, he's up in
Yeah,
Michigan.
with gas right now. You're right.
Yeah, he's up in Michigan, so you're probably talking a couple $100 for gas.
Need more Charger videos. I agree. I do need more Charger videos. I was hoping to get some more parts in so that I can get it over there to Ken's house. I need, because I just got a few more parts to come in, and we're going to finish buttoning that motor up, and we're going to pop that dude off, man. I can't wait to hear it go. I mean, it's going to be some kind of awesome. Not a charity. Well, you gave me a free intro, you know. I mean, it's kind of hard to distinguish, you know. That was probably good for at least 100 subs. So, you know.
Well, Thump, it's not that you're the charity. We're asking for you to give to charity.
Right.
Not that you're a charity. We're hoping you will give to a charity.
Yeah.
Be much appreciated.
Tell Mike Travis about the exclusive news first shared on your live. What was that?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's they're going to have another live, like him and Dallas. They have a new class they're going to come out with for the No Name Nationals.
Well, yeah.
They're going to be announcing that soon.
Nice.
Yeah, they were all teasing me last night. It's going to be a Buick V6 class.
Nice.
But they're coming up with a new class for the No Name Nationals.
They need to do a class for lawnmower carburetors.
Lawnmower carburetors, with or without sand.
No cubic inch requirement. Just it has to have a single lawnmower carburetor on it.
Nice. Now, is that forced air through that little carburetor, or
they just want to see how fast you can get in 60 feet?
Yeah.
Fast and exciting. Announced on Friday. That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
I have to wait until Friday. I gotta turn the air conditioner. It's getting hot now.
You just now turning yours on? Well, if we hadn't had ours on, it'd be 150 in here.
Well, the central air is on, but I'm turning on the backup air conditioner.
Sweaty, bumper. He is waiting still for the snow to melt.
I know.
Where the hell's he at?
Northern Michigan by Lake Superior. Mama Hoopty was just in here wanting to know what in the world is about that Thumper guy. Why would he live there is what I'm wondering. I mean, I guess it's where you're used to, but
I'm going to leave my camera off for a minute, guys. I'm still here.
All right.
Buck and Travis and yeah, I was thinking John or Brother Bear might jump in, but I get it. They're probably busy boys. This is my day off. I mean, kinda. For a little while. Until it cools down a little bit. And then we'll get out there and we'll get back to it. Biggest and longest wheelie? By golly. All right, see, now I got to start over on the Blockbuster. I'm going to have to put the engine in the back.
Get a little weight
Block
transfer.
under glass. There you go. You block under glass.
There you go. Snow keeps the riff-raff away. Oh, my gosh. Or to a minimum. Yeah.
Oh, they will have a biggest.
Once. It'll definitely do. Straw Corporation. We'll have a biggest wheel stand award. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I got somebody messaging me on Facebook. They have a YouTube channel, Slant Daily Garage. They live pretty close.
That. Slant Daily Garage.
And they live within probably 30 miles of me.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
cool.
have to look
I
through
just did a
Channel F.
review. I just did a review last night, Slant Daily.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they're in a No Name National.
Okay, yeah. I guess that's why he's messaging me on Facebook. So I saw your post on Memphis Street Racing.
Hmm.
Oh, sweet! It's an engine. He's an engineer for Edelbrock.
Oh, cool.
Well,
So I need to send him my intake and say, do this, 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 and this to it.
and he just got a new subscriber. So land is cheap here. Snow does keep the undesirables away for sure. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yes. And if you can't find the links, you can go into the description of my live from last night, and I have the links to all the channels I did last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks to Travis. Travis told me about that last week. I say, hey, that's a good idea.
I figured it'd be a really good idea so people that are watching it on the rewatch can be like, oh, well, what was the name of that channel? And they can just go right to the description.
Yeah.
So, Brother Bear, did you ever question whether he would? I mean, like I said, he's got my wife thinking that that's just my alter ego, and I'm living a double life, and that, it's probably just coming from a different URL or something. There's the man.
What's happening, guys?
Oh, man, just enjoying the afternoon for a little while, waiting on it to cool off, going to go lay down some hay, and yay.
It's always exciting watching when the No Name 500 list shuffles around, because occasionally you'll have one that hits a home run and the video will jump them way up in the standings.
Yeah.
It's fun to do that.
Absolutely.
Bubba Ayers is next.
Where's he at?
I think 473 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Bubba's
Nice.
at 473.
Yeah, it won't be long. You'll be having a live with him, putting him over the top.
Won't be long.
Unless he just jumps right past your live.
I don't know what we're going to do after we have Levi at 500. I mean,
I know. Well, can I come on and say, John, I just don't know how I'm going to get my 1,000 subs.
That's right.
Well, no, hey,
I'll take 20 channels before him. All come on and
I'll take his place once he's over.
That's it. You're surging pretty well. You're at 146 as of this morning, and every time I check the standings, you've made a jump. So you're right on pace. That's the funny thing about this. It's like everybody's going at a different pace. So Bubba's going at a really slow pace, but he also doesn't have many subs to go. And Buck has a lot of subs to go, but he's going at a much faster pace. So both of them are completely on target.
Well, you know, John, me and Two Hacks are having a little competition who can make it to 1,000 now.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're both and that's the funny thing, isn't it? Because look how long it took you to get to 500, and look how long it's going to take you to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
So it's relative, but the list is exciting.
I send him messages every once in a while. Hey, you're still losing.
Yeah, that'll motivate him. He's got good stuff in the works.
Hey, Barrows, that's called Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, I don't know if I'm sure somebody's written it down before.
Nah, we're going to have Clint Street Machines on this Wednesday to get his 1,000. He's at 982.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool. So keeping me busy.
Yeah. So
unfinished project. Last I looked, he had 16 likes on his comment.
well, I stopped it last night at 8:00 whenever I was going to go live. I took Mama Hoopty to the rodeo for a date night, and I was going to do a live from the rodeo. And then the internet just totally crapped out on me. Wouldn't let me on my camera. Just kept kicking me off. And I was like, well, then I just announced, that I would just do it today at 1:00. And so, yeah, he actually got the first place at 8:00 last night. He had 14 likes. So it is now the Blockbuster.
Yep.
And,
well, I knew he'd be first. He'd be first to respond.
Right. And Smacky's Garage was second with 5 likes. And he had it as the Coronet, the NNN for No Name Nationals. Yeah. And Mopar Mitch, Bubba Ayers, and Bad Tree Productions all tied for third. And then I had a whole bunch of 1s and 2s, and everybody who participated, all 27 participants, all the rest of the 27 participants are all getting a sticker anyway.
That's
just
cool.
for participating.
That's so cool.
So, it was, and I'm, all the 3 people that came in third. Well, I'm not going to cut anybody out. I'll just send them all a t-shirt.
Sure.
So,
Hey, Clint, don't be sorry. I'm enjoying it, but it's fun, but it's getting busy. It's like I'm probably live 3-4 nights a week now, at least, from different stuff.
Yeah.
And, it's really, this thing is picking up steam right in the middle of the 8-9 months to roll out. So it looks like it's on a trend to finish really, really busy. Between everybody getting their cars done, so many people trying to hit their channel milestones, so many projects coming together at the same time. It's really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
BRC, when y'all plan on doing that live? Because that'd be something good to watch.
Oh, yeah. It'll be Wednesday right after Uncle Tony's Garage. So whenever Tony wraps, we'll go live.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. He's got some cool stuff going on. He's got an S10. He's got a big block Mopar. He's looks like he's back half in the truck, putting some serious steamrollers on the back. It's a fun project over there.
Oh, by golly. Well, actually, Tim, it's a Blockbuster live. So the new name of the Hoopty is the Blockbuster, a la Unfinished Project.
You know what would have been funny is you could have said, whoever wins it has to come on alive to give us the name.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I probably
what do you
should
know with
that. he might have said, okay, I decline.
Yeah.
See, I think what would have been a killer idea, and I mean this, I don't know why nobody else has done this. Here you go. Here's what I think is a great idea. I'll just throw out there. I think it would have been great if he had gotten a really cool looking luchador Mexican mask, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that he could stay anonymous and be in his videos and just never acknowledge the mask.
Yeah.
He just does his thing and does his work and talks to people and just completely ignores it. Do you know how many subscribers that would be worth?
Oh, tons.
And then he stays anonymous and just keeps doing his thing like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd have been a killer idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he says he's trying to keep his mystique. He's trying to preserve his mystique.
He wants to keep his Mercury mystique. Well, there can't be but 1 or 2 of those left. So.
Well, I was going to say, I'd want to keep one. I mean,
Yeah.
How many are you going to see?
I knew a guy that had one. When I was at auto shop in community college, right? There was a guy who had one. And it was, I want to say, a 95 model. And this was in 2001. The car was 6 years old. It was falling apart at the seams.
Yeah.
Just falling apart. It had 50,000 miles on it, and it was just falling in. Those cars were the biggest pieces of junk I've ever seen.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't much better than a Tempo. I had a Ford Tempo that I traded for a Chevy. It was a Chevy conversion van that I traded for it. And because I wanted something a little more fuel efficient and whatever, man, that thing was junk. Man, it was junk.
There's some cars are just really bad.
Yeah.
You remember the old Granadas?
Yeah.
I want a 2-door Granada.
Do you? I always thought those
do.
were junk.
I know, but I want one, man, because they're so junky.
Yeah.
But they're still
A
squared
modern
off.
Hoopty.
I still like the squared off design of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the square fenders, you know.
I liked Fairmonts before they were cool. I'd love to have a Fairmont.
Yeah.
That'd be about the only Ford sweet tooth, I guess you'd say.
One of my neighbors had a Ford Fairmont with a fuel-injected 302 setup that he put in it, and it was pretty darn quick.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty darn quick.
They were a little bit heavy, but they were very drivable cars. You know, had a good drivers. They worked well.
I just had a guy sub to me. His channel name is Red Fairmont. Red Fairmont Garage or something like that.
I like it.
I'm incognito. Nobody knows who I am.
Is that unfinished project?
Yes.
What's wrong with this is I can't wear my glasses.
Oh my gosh.
So who is unfinished project? Who was that masked man?
Yeah, that's funny.
I gotta put my glasses on so I can see.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without these, I'm blind. I can see out in, you know, I don't know.
There's the one he needs. There's the unfinished.
All right, he's getting ready to get timed out. Mercury is
I started something.
That's where he got that idea from. It's his own.
I like it.
Nice. Yeah, the old Mercury Zephyr. Yeah.
Same as Fairmont.
I remember a buddy of mine had a Fairmont one time where he swapped the transmission in it. And evidently the transmission linkage was backwards because to put it in drive, you had to have it in reverse. Yeah, it was really weird. We screwed something up, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know,
he drove around like that forever.
Thinking of those old Fords and Mercuries like that. My brother had a 77 Thunderbird with T-tops in it. And it was really a unique car. I mean, you just don't see Thunderbirds with T-tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he'd have kept that, it'd probably worth something now.
When
Possibly.
when I was doing the auto program, we had to do, you know, several of everything, right? Several engines, several transmissions, etc. Well, we had to do rear wheel drive, manual and automatic. We had to do a transaxle, manual and automatic. So a manual transaxle, one of the guys had a 66 VW Beetle, right? And I got some experience with VWs. He's like, hey, man, you want to partner on this? I said, sure. I'd never built a transaxle in one, though. So somehow we got there's two side plates that your axle's bolted into and the differential goes in there. And on a Volkswagen, it's completely symmetrical. And we got the differential in on the wrong side. And it bolts right in. Well, what happens is it flips your ring gear around, and we had 4 reverses and 1 forward.
Oh my! Oops.
And this is what they do when you have the VWs where they flip it around and do a mid engine like in a sandrail. That's how they do it. They flip that differential around. That's what makes it work. Well, anyway, we had 4 reverses in the forward, so we were out in the parking lot driving it in lowest reverse, and then shift into second reverse.
Oh my! I bet that was swirly. I bet that was swirly.
Yeah, there was no third reverse going to happen.
That's like driving a turbo forklift.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, but you can make a front-wheel drive Volkswagen that way.
What's that?
I said you can make a front-wheel drive Volkswagen that way.
Oh, you can, absolutely, you can. So, like if you can't find a Tornado, front wheel drive transmission, the TH425, you could do with Volkswagen if the torque could handle it.
Yeah, I love the old Pintos too. I remember that old Pinto station wagon that we had. We put the 302 in there, and then first weekend we spun the rear end, and so we put the rear end out of the truck that we stole the 302 out of underneath it, and it stuck out, like that far past the fenders. We put locks in it.
There was a guy up the street when I was a kid had one with the little, like van window in the back, panel.
Yeah.
And it was wood grain. The whole thing was wood grain on the side.
Yeah.
It was a neat looking little car.
Yeah, mine was all glass down the sides, so it didn't have the little cool porthole window.
Yeah.
They had that cool stripe on it too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the Poison Pinto from Hot Wheels. 1977 Poison Pinto. Or 74. I believe that was released in 74.
Yeah, there used to be a what do they call them? The little short hatchback one, the runabout.
Yeah.
He had one on like a big tire running at the track a couple years ago.
And my mom had one of those little Pintos, the short one. And to change the starter on that, I don't know if you ever changed the starter on one of those on the original. You had to loosen the motor mount and jack the motor up to be able to get the stupid starter out of there. There's just enough room. I mean, you couldn't get a hold of it and get it to pass the little bracket on the starter. Wouldn't go past it, and you had to loosen the motor mount and jack up the motor like a half of an inch to pull that starter out.
It was the same way on my buddy's sister's Cobra 2. It had 302 in it, and you couldn't get the starter out of it.
Yeah, it's like, well, who the heck came up with that engineering miracle or marvel?
Oh, it's Ford. Right there, it's Ford.
I'd rather have a rope and pulley to start a Cadillac North Star than replace the starter on one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, put it under the intake, right?
Yeah, it's
on a V8, and it's under the intake.
Oh, that's right.
Really?
That's right. You got to pull the intake to get to the starter.
I've never messed with one of those.
I'd rather have a 50-foot long rope and a team of horses every time I need to start that car than have to deal with changing that thing. Then there's the Jeep 6-cylinder you can change just standing there. I mean, seriously, you can just lean over the fender and change it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one cool thing about the Blockbuster out there. I can change the starter right there. I mean, I can just, because I'm.
Yeah, Slant 6 same way, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, starter's on the leeward side underneath the intake.
Yeah, I mean, all I got to do is just. Opel GT with a blown 440. Why not? I love those.
Why don't you just weld 4 wheels to a 440 and drive it that way? It's about the same way.
Yeah.
Might as well. I was going to say
shaft that long.
I was going to say, no, just hook it directly to the differential. Don't bother with
U joint, 1 U joint.
Yeah.
Big Mike is saying the spline on a pinion gear and the spline on an input shaft are not similar by coincidence.
Right. Exactly. I think about it a lot, John, whenever I swapped the rear end out on the Coronet, and you were like, I just don't understand that. I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, it was kind of
a right, but now you get it. Right?
No, really, but that's okay.
Well,
I know what you're saying, the trunnion deal.
Okay, it had the torque tube style setup on it.
But
and
you could use a front drive shaft from a truck that's got the telescopic drive shaft.
Right, but
you did make a telescopic drive shaft.
I did, but you see, I didn't have the option of doing anything else without spending money. and it was all about, this is what I have laying around. This is what I'm going to use because it's laying around, and I can make this work. And that was the whole thing, is to make people go, why would he do that? And it worked.
There's a lot of people on YouTube that live to make people wonder what they're doing.
Yeah. So I did get my chainsaw bar really secure down there on the channel. So yeah.
That's ingenuity.
I like what you're doing. I see some people that do things, but they don't have, they're different. They don't even understand the ramifications of why it wasn't done that way. Like, they don't even think their way around a safe way to do it, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, what you're doing is you're being resourceful. You're recycling things. Okay, what do I need to do to make this work? But then there's people just like, oh, hey, man, there's a hole there. I can bolt this together. They don't even have any. I saw a trailer that had some wheels on it for a car that were 4-bolt. I don't know what they were. They were flipped around backwards, okay? Front wheel drive wheels, but when they flipped them backwards, now you have all of your wheel going the offset's completely backwards. So instead of having all that back space, it had no back space, and the rim's stuck way off the front now. Then they had the lug nuts on there, but there's no seat for the lug nuts anymore. So the lug nuts, I don't even know how they were ever tightened up or anything. You know, it went down the road, like the National Lampoon's car after the wreck, the wheels just doing this stuff. My uncle has a trailer that he pulls on the highway, and the axle in this thing, he just has clamped on the frame with clamps. No hangers welded, nothing. I said, how are you not just a pothole away from that thing going where it wants to go? And that's the kind of stuff that worries me. Not when it's a control thing. I mean, you're a skilled fabricator. You can do something just because you want to do it, but some of these people do it and they don't realize, they don't have any idea what they're doing. It's a whole different deal.
Well, you know what, that just like with my drive shaft loop, whenever I put that up there, I was like, well, this little thin piece of sheet metal isn't going to hold that if that thing comes down and starts slapping around underneath there. You know, I mean, that's why I went through the chainsaw bar to give it support on the top, you know, and I lengthened it out so it can't do this number either, you know, side to side. So that was my reasoning for putting that long piece on there.
CRV has a drive shaft loop in it from the factory, little old thin thing. But I think all it's made for, is so you can drop the drive shaft to tow it. Because I towed it once and I'm like, well, this is too convenient. They must have done that on purpose.
Welcome, Jason.
Yeah, hi, Jason.
When Jason's Garage comes in the chat, I'd like to do that.
Oh, sorry.
He did that once.
No, the dog barking kind of worked with the mask going on.
Jason has that mask. I thought it was really funny.
All right. Anyway. Oh.
I thought I would swing by and just congratulate Unfinished Project on his victory.
Winning another thing?
Yeah. Yeah. You mean on his property transfer again?
We've you know, he's at what, 204, I believe. Yeah.
I thought it was
he's tied with Punisher Le Mans. He's at 204. So Unfinished Project still needs 296, and I'm confident he'll get him, but we'll get him. He might need all of the time, but he'll get him.
John, did you hear Mike earlier tell us about his nickname?
No, I got it just like right when I made that comment.
Okay,
so,
his nickname is. Go ahead, Mike.
What's that?
Well, my nickname. It's funny that he would come up with the Blockbuster because it has a twofold meaning.
Right.
Because I've busted a lot of blocks, and because it's a hoopty, it's sure to bust a block. Well, and I said the one block I hope it doesn't bust is me, because a lot of people don't know my nickname is Block.
Cool.
My nieces and nephews call me Uncle Block. Everyone at church calls me Block because back when I ran the business, for several years, all we did was laid commercial and residential blocks for about 7 years, and we laid 1 million blocks in that time, which is a lot of blocks. And back in the day, I was really pretty darn fast at laying block. My best day was 685 blocks in 6 hours. And my oldest brother is the one who taught me how to lay blocks, and he's faster than me. And he's 60 years old now and can still outwork 25, 30-year-old guys on the block pile. And his fastest day was about 8 or 8.5 hours. He laid 1,050 blocks.
Let's do the math on that. So
yeah,
it's
a little over 110 an hour.
It's right at 30 seconds a block.
Yeah,
30 seconds a block average.
He's freaking fast.
8.5 hours.
Yeah, he's the fastest, cleanest block layer I ever met.
How
and
do
what
you
he taught me,
spontaneously combust?
Well, the thing that he taught me was technique first. You worry about learning your technique, every single thing about your technique. Speed will come. You work on your speed after you get the technique down perfect. Yeah. And that's what he's done. But that's all he's done since he was 16 years old. He's a high school dropout, and he owns 5,000 square foot house and property and business and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And he's a self-made man who has been extremely successful because he learned how to do one thing and do it to perfection.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because the advice that we've given time and time again on people learning to shoot matches like IDPA is learn your technique and learn how to shoot accurately, and the speed will come.
Right.
You can never take fast, sloppy shooting and make it more accurate, but you can take solid, accurate shooting and make it much faster.
Exactly.
Sounds like the block is a similar principle.
Oh, well, I think it's a similar principle on most anything, anything, with a skill set, whether it's painting a house or, whatever it is, you worry about technique first, and then, the more you do it, the more experience you get under your belt. You say, okay, well, that didn't work last time. I'm just going to bypass that right there. So you just already saved a step, and you already got faster right there and not making missteps, And the thing is you don't have to get in a hurry. You just have to be constantly moving.
Yep. Don't
stop. And another thing that he taught me that I carried on and gave to my guys was, if you can't whistle while you work, don't whistle. So, I mean, if you can't work and talk at the same time, don't talk. You're getting paid to work. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and he was pretty hardcore, back when I was learning, but
That's
you know
neat.
what? It made me really good at what I do.
Cool.
What I did. So,
I've got the tiniest amount of bricklaying experience, and it looks terrible.
Yeah. Well, I've laid a whole lot of blocks, a whole lot of bricks, and a whole lot of rocks and tile and precast. I mean, that's the thing about being a mason. There's a big difference between being a mason, being a block layer, being a brick layer, a tile setter, a stone setter. There's a whole difference in that and being a mason. A mason, you learn how to work with all masonry media. Yep. And there's a lot to it. I was in the business for over 5 years laying before I ever even started to consider myself a mason. Back in the day, you worked 2 to 2.5 years as a laborer, and then you became an apprentice, and then you could become a journeyman, and then you could become a mason.
Bill's Garage has a good point. I've always thought it would be fun to do completely different topic lives. Unlike if we had a group of 3 or 4 of us that did the same thing for a living and just did that.
Right.
think something like that will be really interesting. 'Cause I think the block stuff is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Yeah.
world I don't know anything about.
Yeah. I tell you what, I really did enjoy my career. I mean, it was a good, rewarding career, and it served me well. And taught me a lot of discipline, taught me a lot of resilience. It taught me a lot of people skills. Taught me, who to trust and who not to trust. You know what I mean? And taught me not to take things for granted.
You got quite a few people on there.
Yeah. Look who it is. We got a special appearance.
Hey,
Hi, Mama.
Hey, how's it going?
but I still get one job a year.
She still gets
Hey.
one masonry job a year.
That's it.
Yeah. So you guys saw the wood stove
Yes.
project this year, so she's not allowed to ask me until the end of the year.
Is that a rolling year or?
Oh, shh. So yeah, but I got to lay blocks on the stables still, and last year's projects was the entryway coming into the house, and prior to that was the stone mailbox. So I still give her some masonry stuff. So
I see Buff's comment over there. Sorry.
What?
what's that? I like the block stuff too. I rarely talk about my career because it always leads to I have this rash. What do you think?
Oh my God!
What kind of
You're typing,
career
I'm
did
not
you
even paying
have?
attention.
Were you a dermatologist?
Yeah, right.
Let's hope.
Ah.
I don't know if I can find 2 or 3 people that work in the power industry though. On YouTube.
He could be a dermatologist, or he could work in the free clinic in Reno or something. I mean, I have
Oh
no.
no. I think we've crossed over to the weird hour.
Exactly,
Yeah.
the weird hour. That's a
Who-
different live.
Who would think we had a weird hour at almost 3:00 in the afternoon? Oh my goodness! I see.
Paramedic. Yeah.
I see. But it's fun to hear the guesses. Well, thank you for what you do. I tell you what, you guys are unsung heroes. Seriously. I've got a buddy who's a paramedic. And yeah, man, the things that you guys deal with, some of the horrendous things that you walk into, never knowing what to expect, it's yeah.
He's saving cars and lives.
Yeah. Well, I guess on the cars, I'm not really a doctor, but I do perform surgery. I'm kind of like kind of like the mad doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not going to taste it and find out, Dean. That's probably what he wants to answer.
Well,
He's
I'll
got
tell you
some
what,
great
Dean.
comments.
When you get done here, there's a YouTube video you should watch. I don't remember the guys' names, but it's pretty funny. It's called "Rub Some Bacon on It," and it's like nailed your finger to a birdhouse accidentally. Rub some bacon on it. Just whatever it is, you just rub some bacon on it, and it's okay. Rhett and I think Rhett and Link is
Clint
their
says,
names.
I harvest organs.
Maybe they're musical.
Do we want you to elaborate?
I hope he means, like with keys.
You can tell people all that about on Wednesday too,
Do you like bacon? 6-7-year-old veteran just loves listening to you guys. Awesome. Well, we love having you hang out because we're just a bunch of silly guys
At
having
least
fun.
somebody likes to listen.
It's like,
Everybody likes to listen. I like listening.
Yeah. I'm still talking to Shane over here about his YouTube channel.
I knew a guy that he was one of those pharmaceutical sales reps and goes and takes free lunches to doctors' offices and tries to sell them the newest product you see advertised. And when people would ask him what he do, he'd say, I'm a drug dealer. So, which is true.
Yeah, I think 25 by 30, Rich. I think he's an optometrist.
What's that? He's
25 by 30. I believe he's an optometrist.
It's amazing.
It would be interesting to know what every single person who's in this community and or attending the No Name Nationals, they're both huge sample sizes, what all of them do for a living.
I know.
The variety of skill sets would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So he's going to do some reconstructive surgery and put on his race face for work.
Well, I mean, even in real estate. See, I have a real estate firm, but real estate is very rarely anybody's first career. It was for me, but I'm the exception, right? More than the rule. I've got 2 retired PhD professors, and they both have PhD in chemistry. And got another guy that he was a psychologist, and another that was a publisher. And it's unusual all the careers people come out of when they have a common interest like cars.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine, his wife is a realtor, and originally she was a Walmartian.
Yeah. People come out of everything to do real estate, and 3 out of 10 make it to their 5th year.
3 out of 10. Wow.
That's stretching it. Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle, once they sold their GNC store, they were bored, so they're like, well, we'll just go to real estate school. And they did that for like 10 years.
Yeah, if you think about it, everybody knows more people who used to be in real estate than who are in real estate.
So both my aunt and uncle have passed away, so that's why they got out of it.
You were breaking up.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I said they both passed away, so that's why they got out of it.
Oh.
It's real estate can be tough. I'll tell you, it can be tough. It's not at all what people think it's about. Then when they get into it, it's pretty involved.
Yeah, see, and Mama Hoopty even thought about getting into real estate. She's always looking at all of the different trends and stuff like that. And, and she's thought about that. When she retired from her job of 25 years, her original job right out, of high school and stuff, she took off 1.5 years, decided she couldn't argue with the vacuum cleaner anymore, and was looking for a new thing to do. She went to hairdressing school, and she thought, well, that's cool, and they make good money. Good hairdressers make good money. And then she realized she doesn't like touching people who have poor hygiene.
Can understand that.
That's understandable.
Yeah, it's like, well, so she decided that was not the career for her. Then she went to work for the school, and she went to work at the high school, and now she works at a middle school. And I really feel like that's a really great place for her because she interacts with the kids, and, I believe she really makes a difference in a lot of those kids' lives, she actually interacts with the children and, gets on a level with them that, they don't get on with just the regular teachers and stuff.
Buff's Garage, you can have good tenants and bad tenants. You can have good clients and bad clients. I just had to get rid of a tenant. I got a huge judgment against her. Some tenants are good and some are not. It's only good being a landlord if you have good tenants.
Yeah, we thought about buying into rental houses and stuff too, And we were just like, no, no, no.
Yeah, I did it once. That was
Yeah, well, we owned property down here, and we still owned property in Oregon, and we actually got a property management company. We hired them to manage our property in Oregon because it's 2,000 miles between here and there, and our tenants quit paying, and they were supposed to be taking care of it, and well, the tenants, because whenever we finally got a judgment, got them evicted, they kicked the toilet off its base.
Yeah.
They kicked holes in the walls and destroyed things because we wouldn't let them squat there for free.
And then you go get a judgment against them, and they spend the whole rest of their life working on not paying you, making sure you can't go. The one I had to get rid of most recently, as soon as they gave that COVID relief thing, now her income only went up during COVID.
Oh yeah,
she got all these credits for it. She was already getting a pension. She was already getting Social Security. She had gotten over $1 million settlement where her husband got killed about 10 years before an accident. But she had plenty of money, but she just decided, oh, hey, you can't kick me out. And just decided to stop paying rent. Like, just dared me to do anything about it. She filed an insurance claim where the town had broken the kitchen window while mowing. And she files an insurance claim on, didn't own the house, but filed an insurance claim and duped them into paying her $977 for the broken window.
Oh my goodness! Did she
found
fix
out
the
about
window?
Huh?
Did she fix the window?
Of course she didn't fix the window. Someone of her moral character would never fix it. But what she told the judge in court is that she fixed the window and it got broken again. And I have pictures before and after, date stamped, police report, everything. And the judge looked at it and could very clearly see the same break, the same broken screen and everything. And the judge says, you're telling me under oath that you fixed this window and it got broken exactly in the same pattern? And she said yes. And that was the end of it, because everyone knew she was lying under court, but you can't really prove it. So the judge just, boom, judgment for the plaintiff, threw the book at her.
Wow.
But I don't still not paid for any of that.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, is, you can sue someone and you can get a judgment. That doesn't mean you're going to get paid.
She got $1,000 behind on her power bill, and I let them cut the power off on it. I didn't get billed for it, but that's the only thing that got her out.
Yeah.
She'd gone through every family member she could put power in the name of till nobody would do it anymore.
Right.
And then even after all of this, she said, well, I have HUD now. Can we work something out? I'm like, no, we cannot work something out.
Yeah, we can work something out. We can work you out of my residence.
So she goes to another landlord, lies on her rental application, lies about it because she had embezzled her granddaughter's college fund and has a felony conviction for that in another county that wasn't disclosed.
Gosh.
So anyway, I told the new landlord, I said, hey, I've got something to email you. Send.
Yeah.
I said, and it just shocked him. But I'm like, yeah, I bet she didn't disclose any of that on her lease application. He said, no, she did not. I said, well, there you go.
Well, I mean,
that's behind. Be ready.
Yeah, that's not exactly something that you want to start out with,
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I cleaned the closet out a whole lot because she had all kinds of scams running everywhere. I got her shed repossessed that she did not have permission to put on my property. I gave her new address and everything to all of her creditors so that can follow her over there because I was done with it.
Yeah,
and I don't want it all coming to me. But anyway, that's the kind of thing. So being a landlord is great if you have a good tenant.
Right.
Okay.
But if you get one of those, it's miserable. But real estate can be exactly the other way around. If you have good clients, it's a great job. If you got a bad client, it's just
exhausting. Yeah.
Hey, well, everybody, I got to go. My battery's dying. I got a bunch of things I need to get straightened out.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2
plug it in,
hours
stay
anyway.
around, but I got to go. So,
yeah. All right. We'll see you later.
We'll catch you later.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Congratulations again, Mike, and UP and all the other contestants.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, buddy. So then there were 3.
Yeah. There's probably going to end up being 2 here in just a second. I think I'm going to jump off here and
yeah, I'm going
to
to
do some more cleaning.
I'm gonna have to get off here too. I got to go get busy, and as much as I hate it, but
Hey,
you know.
hey, Buff's Garage. So I took this to court as an unlawful detainer, and they had kept putting moratoriums on evictions. So the judge asked me would I like to continue it, and I think he wanted me to. And I said, no, I'm going to take it forward. He said, well, then I dismiss it. I knew that's what he was going to do, but I actually wanted it dismissed because I walked right down the hallway and I filed it as a warrant in debt. I knew that would involve getting her out, though.
Yeah,
That's exactly how we played that. So I got to get mine heard, but most people couldn't. Anyway, that's a whole story into itself.
Hey, John, what does your shirt say? Oh, awesome.
So
Now, my story involves the head of her statue in her garden winding up on the mantle of her ex-husband's house. So
oh my,
that's a story for another day.
yeah, I had
Yeah.
several.
I'm gonna jump off there, guys. I'll see y'all later.
All right, we'll see you, Travis. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Yep, no problem. Take it easy.
Yeah, several years ago, I had to sue a guy, and I do not like having to go to that point. I am not.
No, me neither.
That is the last thing I want to have to do with anybody.
Agreed.
And I mean, why can't we be adults here and just, take care of this? Well, so this guy was a remodeler, and I did small jobs like burnouts and, remodels. Someone runs over your mailbox, I'll fix that. You got a crack in your masonry, whatever, somebody runs into the panel on your garage. You need that panel replaced. I can replace the bricks on that, the wood inside, whatever needs done.
Sure.
So I made an agreement with this guy. We had a written contract. I had 10 days in order to complete the project. And we had agreed on a price. And so it was like 2 days later, he calls me and says, hey, man, he says, look, the homeowner's breathing down my neck about getting this job done. I said, well, I'll tell you what, since I haven't done any work for you previously, and I want to show you that in good faith, this is what I'm willing to do. I'm going to rearrange my schedule, and I will be there tomorrow. I still had like 7 days to get this thing done, and I had already scheduled it for 6 days out so that I could keep up with my current schedule. And anyway, so I told him I'd rearrange things, and he says, well, no, actually, he says, I've got someone who can do it cheaper. And I said, well, you can't do that. And he's like, well, I guess I can, unless you're willing to come down on your price. I said, well, we already have a written contract.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how this works.
Sure.
And I'm casting no dispersions on anyone of any ethnicity or background, but he was Hispanic, and I wasn't sure. Do you not understand this? Because
a cultural thing.
Right.
We run into that a little bit in real estate too. Sometimes different cultures regard the written contract and have a different mindset about what it actually
right.
means.
Exactly. And like I said, I cast no dispersions on him, but I told him, I said, well, look, I said, here's the way things are going to have to happen. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do this job, and you're going to pay me what we agreed on because we have it in writing. And he says, well, no, he says, you can't do that unless you can do it for this price, which was half of what we had agreed upon. And I said, well, okay. I said, I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and go right here. How do you pronounce your last name? And he told me, and he said, well, he says, why? And I said, well, so if I have to go take you to court, over this, I want to, pronounce it properly.
Right.
And he said, you can't sue me. And I was like, au contraire, I can, and I will if I have to. I don't want to do this. I really don't. I don't want to do this. So please don't make this a bigger issue than it is. Let's just go ahead. And then from there, we can shake hands, walk away. And he started talking to me like I was like, whoa, okay. So the next day, I went to the courthouse. I filed, my paperwork, and I took him to court, small claims. And when we got in there, the judge asked me about my complaint. I explained it to him. He had my written complaint there. I explained it to him, and I told him, look, I am a licensed contractor in good standing. I have never had any claims against me. I've never had, anything against me. I'm a successful businessman, and I don't need to try to take advantage of someone in order, to get a paycheck. And anyway, he asked the guy, says, his name was Mr. Cabrera. He says, Mr. Cabrera, he says, what do you have to say in response to this? And he says, I come here today for justice, and this is not what I get. And he says, Mr. Cabrera, I'm going to tell you what, the justice you're going to get today is if you shut up right now, I'm going to allow you to walk out of this courtroom on your own. and I was just like, why do you got to make it such a contentious thing? So I got a judgment against him. He sent me a $10 money order or a $10 check. The first payment he was supposed to make me gave me a check for $10, and it bounced.
A $10 check?
Yeah, and it bounced.
How much was the amount of the work? Just curious.
$675.
$675?
Yes.
I'm
like
willing to go to
was
court
about
over
the
$675.
It was the principle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. It was the principle. I was like, man. Seriously? Really? So anyway, then after that, so I took that bounced check from my bank because they charged me for submitting a bounced check there. And
right.
and it cost me like $30 or something. I don't know how much it was, but still. So I took it up there to get it, to have him put in contempt, because that was obviously, intentional. And then they drug him back in, and he had to pay me with a money order, and he gave me like a couple $100, and then that's it. It's like, and so I've still got I got a judgment, but it's like,
you know what? I got this one judgment on that woman for rent that I'm probably never going to collect.
Yeah,
until she dies. Here's another one though that really got me. So I don't know how much time you. This is pretty good. So we can save it for another day if you want. But I actually had a car stolen from me, and got a judgment on it.
Yeah.
And so what happened was a buddy of mine and his wife decided that they were going to buy a brand new Ford Focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't afford it for anything. And I told him, I said, just because you can take your tax return money and you can get a Ford Focus and finance it doesn't mean you should. I said, what happens the next time you can't pass your DOT physical where you drive a truck and can't pay for it? Now, by the way, he's dead and gone. He died several years ago, right? So it's not like it's all well known. But anyway, I said, what's going to happen when you can't pass your physical next time? Because there's several times you flunked it before. I said, and you start missing payments and have that mess. I said, why don't you keep the car you have? It was a 2001 Chevy Cavalier. I said, put a little bit of money into it and drive it and stay out of debt, right? No, he wouldn't hear that. He buys his Focus, he finances it, and exactly 6 months later, can't pass his physical, can't work. He was over-the-road truck driver, gets behind. Well, in that 6 months in between, he insisted that he wanted to sell that Cavalier. And he made me a really good price on it. He like $200 plus something. This was before everything was sky high, right?
Right.
$200. So I paid him cash. I moved it to my place. I didn't tag it or anything. Well, he gets behind on his other car and all that. It gets repossessed. And then he swallows his pride and crawls to me about a month after bumming rides for a month and says, can I borrow the Cavalier? And I said, well, sure, but you're not going to have it tagged and insured in my name.
Right.
So he hadn't transferred the title yet or anything. We did this on a handshake deal. I'd known him 30-some years. So you kind of can see where this is going, right?
Uh-huh.
He tags the car. I had put a battery in it, changed oil plugs, put a light bulb in it so it passed inspection, just did a few things, and then was just sitting on it. Well, anyway, so I had a total of like $316 in it or something, right? Well, anyway, with all the tensions of him getting laid off from work, the wife decides to leave him. And he gets in his walking papers. So now the wife has my car living in what used to be their place, and she's driving back and forth to work. And I said, you know what? This is not part of the deal.
Right.
I sent a letter and I said, I expect that car to be returned and left at my place. You can leave the key here on a certain day. Didn't happen. I left another letter that said, just in case you didn't get the memo, please do that. Didn't happen. Then I sent a third message, and the third message said, the car and the key will be here on this date at like Friday at 5 p.m. or Monday at 8 a.m. There's going to be a lawsuit filed in the General District Court of Tazewell County. It's, you know. Well, anyway, she and the husband had gotten into it. She ran off with some guy that she met on the internet and was living in Oregon in a house. And she knew that I was looking for her over this debt. She was actually putting pictures of a house that she didn't live in on Facebook, trying to make sure that I couldn't, because I don't even have Facebook, but she was so afraid I would find her to serve a judgment, right? Well, I found her anyway. And the way I found her was I dug around on an old MySpace profile and found some guy's picture. And then I found a labeled picture with his first name. And then I found his last name. And then I found where he had an address in Oregon. And then I called the title company, and the title company told me who the owner was. And then I called the owner and I said, hey man, that guy that rents from you. Yeah, George. Yeah. I said, he have a new girlfriend move in with him? He said, yeah, he sure does. Her name is Crystal. Like, that's all I needed to know. So I sent her process out there. She doesn't know how I found her. She had 10 days to be in court, and she just no-showed. Meanwhile, in court, I have pages and pages of her telling the husband, well, I have the title, so there's nothing he can do about it. I'm going to just sell it and pay some bills with it before I move. So anyway, I took that to court. I also got an estimate on the value of the car, an NADA value of $2,975. I didn't tell them the value, but that's just what they came up with. So I took that to court. And since she didn't show up, the court issued a default judgment of over $3,000 with the costs. So right now with interest, she owes me close to $5,000. I mean, look how it just snowballed out of control. Over $300 where someone couldn't keep a word. And all it would have taken was just a little bit of being honest. And none of that would have happened.
Oh, yeah.
What
absolutely.
A mess. What an absolute mess.
I know. It's like, why can't people just stop being so, but, you know, as long as there are people and personalities out here in this world, there are going to be those people. And there are going to be those of us who are going to try to do our best to help people out still. But now, obviously, we have to be much more cautious about, you know, or you have to give something saying, I have no expectation of ever seeing this again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I had a kid working for me for quite a while, and he was doing really good. I was helping him out. He was a young man, had a girlfriend and a baby on the way and all kinds of stuff going on, you know, and he had gotten off track. He graduated through drug court, which was like a 2.5-year process. I mean, and he was doing what he was supposed to do. And I was like, man, I'm super proud of you, you know? So me and my wife, we put a $500 down payment on a car for this kid, right? To help him out. And we went on vacation, and we asked him to, you know, come check on stuff. And we left him a paycheck for a week's worth of work, you know, to cash at the end of the week. Cause we felt like, you know, hey, we're here. So they took the $500 down payment on the car, the paycheck, never seen him again. over like $800. You know,
I had
it's
a
like,
guy I paid to do some work just a few weeks ago. Never saw him again. I don't know what it is with that.
I just don't.
I used to have a handyman like that, and it was so funny. He would work like a house of fire for about 3 weeks,
Yeah.
right? Until he got where he wanted to be, had a little bit of money burned on his pocket. Then he would vanish for a month. And then I guess after he kind of ran out, he would come back and won't work for a few more weeks, then vanish again. And I just, about the third time he did that, I'm like, can't work that way. But it's crazy how some people will do.
Yeah. And I was just like, I was so proud of him. I mean, I went to his graduation thing and everything, and all that. And I was just like, golly. And then it's just like, you get a few $100s at once in your pocket, and it's worth throwing everything away for.
Oh, you're exactly right. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like it overloads them or something. I don't understand,
And then there's the other side of it. I bought a house on a handshake one time. No contract. I just paid it off in installments per year, exactly like I said I was going to, exactly when I said I was going to, and just did it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought another house on a handshake that way, and did the loan that way. Did a owner finance that way for $58,000 of the purchase price. And now a little bit left on it, but I've paid it off exactly like I'm supposed to, when I'm supposed to, with interest.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. When people operate like they're supposed to, I mean, the handshake is the contract. That's all you need.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, people nowadays have lost that sense of integrity.
Trust and honor are two things that are linked together.
Right.
I mean, trust is an important component of honor. Right? You can't trust someone, they're not honorable. But at the same time, when people don't care about being honorable, you can't trust them.
Right.
So it's a two-way street. And, it's a shame because I prefer to work on a handshake. I'm thinking, if you can't work with somebody that way, there's no piece of paper that makes that person anybody I want to work with.
Absolutely.
I would never want to have a written contract with anyone I wouldn't already trust without one.
Right. And
but every now and then I see this worst of human nature, like a woman that thinks as soon as there's a COVID rent relief thing and you can just start letting the landowners go belly up, which is the most disgusting, lopsided political mess I've ever seen. How anyone thought that was moral was beyond me.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that. And of course, we kind of have an idea of what's going on, but how is it acceptable that our elected officials said we're going to just choose one group over the other because there's more of them and there's more votes?
Yeah.
And they did. They played winners and losers, and they said, you know what? We'll let Wilburn just twist in the wind, making his mortgage payments, and let him lose his properties, because for every one of him, there's 10 of these over here who are just going to trench in, and we're going to buy their votes. And that to me was totally unacceptable.
Oh yeah, one of the guys my wife used to work with up in Oregon, he has property in Oklahoma. They bought this property outright. Well, they decided, okay, it's time to go down there and build our cabin and do our thing. This was where they had planned to move and, retire and all that. And they get down there and there are squatters on their land already living there. And they could not get rid of them. I mean, they're still going through it in court. It's
You're
like,
right.
Are you serious? Right. Yeah.
No, you can't just get rid of them.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, I really hope that they don't try anything like that around here, because, I mean, I have people with excavating equipment, Just saying.
I'm telling you that it's just a handful of people that are so memorable, and yet we deal with so many people that are good to work with, and it's just the way it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know this. I know our group right here is a wonderful group and has a ton of integrity, and
absolutely.
I'm tickled to death.
Yeah, and I'm No, actually, you don't ever bury anyone on your own land.
Man, you know what? This would be a fun topic, like old rental and contract stories. I got so many of them that are so freaking funny. The guy that would never mow the grass and stole the lawnmower when he left, that one was a head scratcher. The ones that painted the trim and the cabinets black. The one that told me her heating bill was tripled, and I went there and an entire sash was missing from the window. The 3 illegal subleases in a row. I went to the door 3 different times, and it was 3 different people, each subleasing to the other. And the last one, I had no idea who it was.
Oh my!
It's endless nonsense.
Yeah.
So I got one right now that I'm getting ready. The one I had to get rid of that quit paying the rent, destroyed the carpet, destroyed it. Destroy every single wall. Almost looks like she said, "How can I mess this one up?" Left with the toilets piled high with crap.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the furnace filter. So I left a stack of furnace filters on the furnace, brand new 3M furnace filters. And when I went, all the furnace filters were gone, and the one that was in it looked like it came off the Titanic's remains.
Oh
Just
my!
buckled up like a brown taco. I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, if she didn't know how to change one, what did she do with the 6 she stole out of the house? Anyway, I got tenant stories that just for days, and
Yeah.
they're amazing, but you got to take them in context because you don't want people to listen to them and lose all faith in humanity.
Right? Yeah. Well, you know,
The
it's
exceptions, not the rule.
yeah. Well, you know, the last place that we bought before we bought here, I mean, that was part of why we were able to buy this, because we bought out by the lake. We bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,200 square foot house on 5.5 acres with a shop for $58,000.
Yeah.
Well, why were we able to do that? Because those people were disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we hauled off a 40-yard dumpster full of just trash out of there after we burned everything that would burn. I mean, beer bottles, dead animals, old rotten food, tin cans, like women's unmentionables just laying out in the yard. I'm just like, who lives like this?
There are a lot of people. I can't explain it. I don't know when we became so utterly classless as a society. Like, I mean, for instance, people misuse this term lady all the time. Lady does not refer to what you just saw at Walmart throwing punches with some other woman. That's not what a lady is.
Right.
And I just don't live that way. And it seems like all of these things, these low-life behaviors come in a package, and they all seem to go together. And I don't live like that. I don't want that. I just... And it's so hard to find tenants who aren't of that variety. It makes it so hard. All I'm trying to do, I've got $56,000 in total mortgages in my life. 4 properties, $56,000 in mortgage, which is not much. I want to finish paying that off and then have rentals occupied with good people. And eventually I'm going to retire and just do but. They make it hard, man. They challenge you and fight you all the way.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that, though, is that because being in the construction business and knowing people and having my own skills of being able to fix things up and having the want to, we bought that place for $58,000. We went inside and we basically gutted it and started over. We put $40,000 in it. That was before everything went crazy.
Oh gosh!
And then we sold it for $175,000.
Nice.
Nice. And and it took us, some time to get it all done, but we were willing to do what it took to fix it. And you could never tell that it was the hovel that it was before. I mean, and I had to go in and strip everything inside because the cockroaches were in the appliances, in the refrigerator, walking around, in the dishwasher. I was like, what?
And you know what? I got a course, like just what you're saying. I got a course in roaches here a few years ago. I actually had made a contingent offer on buying a single wide a few years back because one of my properties has a big lot next to it that zoning will allow me to put up to 5 more dwellings on, right?
Yeah.
And the zoning is for it. So I'm like, I had a contingent offer to, I don't know what year it was. I want to say it was like a 95 model single wide. And this was about 10 years ago. So it wasn't 20 years old. Okay. It looked decent, all of that. I had a contingent offer of $6,500 contingent upon me inspecting it and seeing it. Right.
Yeah.
So I had seen a couple pictures of the inside, a couple pictures of the outside. He was in a big bind, and I said, well, okay, I'll do the 65, but I got to see it, and I'll pay the cost to move it and all of that this day. When I went to see it, he tells me that they had roaches in the wall. And then I didn't know this. He said, when those things die, you get all these roach, people in the comments are never going to forget this. The roach carcasses. It's like this crunchy stuff that will literally fill up a depth in the. I don't know how they just. I guess they just live in the wall. They die in the wall, and then the carcasses just kind of pile up in the wall. And he said that one of them they took out and vacuumed just gallons and gallons, but they were all through it. And I told him, I said I was polite about it, but I'm thinking, well, I said I think that I'm going to have a very hard time mitigating this. And respectfully passed because it was my option at that point, right?
Yeah.
If I had made him a non-contingent contract, I would have still honored it, and it would have been my problem. But the contingency saved me. But it was just like, who lives like that?
Oh, I know. I mean, like I said, we cleaned out a 40-yard dumpster just of trash after we burned everything. I mean, it was unreal.
They pulled an outlet out of the wall in this single wide. Pulled an outlet. Now, how far is an outlet above the floor? I think it's supposed to be between 12 and 18 inches, something like that.
So, yeah.
He pulls an outlet out. Not while I was there, but he told me about it, thankfully. He pulls an outlet out, and all this stuff spills out. And I said, well, that doesn't look like insulation. It was roach carcass, that crusty, crunchy wing and stuff that, just spilled out. It was that deep in the wall, but it spilled out when he pulled the outlet.
Oh, John, that's hilarious. Roach-filled walls called
okay, so I'll tell you, and I'm not giving any names. I'll tell you how I met this guy.
Oh.
He called me about another property that I had for rent, and at that time I was considering doing a lease purchase option on it, right? And the guy rolls up in this ancient Ford Probe, which I gave him style points for because I liked the Probe. I thought it was cool, right? Because I thought it was neat. Very nice guy. He's a nice guy. He, his wife, they had a munchkin. And I needed $750 a month at the time. I said, at $750 a month, we'll do you a mortgage. I said, we'll do it on a land contract because I didn't want to get into all the stuff with the trust on it. But anyway, he said, well, what can you do at $400 a month? I said, nothing. I said, $400 a month does not even cover the interest on that loan. There's nothing I can do. And I'm sitting here thinking, if you can't afford to stay where you are because it's $300 a month, then why are you going to come bring your problem of eviction to me? And I know that's the problem, right? Well, what he couldn't do is he couldn't afford the $300 a month, but I come to find out it wasn't $300 a month rent he was paying on the house. It was $300 a month trailer lot. He owned the trailer and said, well, I'll sell the trailer for $65 and then that'll give me a head start on renting somewhere else. I'm like, well, okay. I know that's going to be a bad deal for you wherever you go, but if you want to sell the trailer for $65, I said, I looked at the pictures, and that's when I said I'll do a deal on it contingent upon actually seeing it.
Right.
That was just unreal. And you do this stuff long enough, we wind up with piles of these stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I also used to have a landlord that I used to do, fix ups and stuff, because being a mason, and I'd go fix, brick steps, this and that, what I mean? And every once in a while he'd say, hey man, these tenants left all this stuff in the house. If you guys, if there's anything there, that you guys want to, go through or whatever before I just throw it all in the dumpster, feel free. Well, we'd go in there and we'd look around, and oh my, some of the stuff you see in these places, it was just like, and you could tell they had children living in this.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the saddest part.
There's evidence of children living in this stuff, and I'm just like, I
sold a house one time. This was in Pulaski County, Virginia. I sold the house, and the landlord who had it, he had it listed. I was a buyer's agent. He had it listed with another agent. No problem. We worked together. Everything was fine. He said his tenant, I don't remember when the power got turned off on the place, but the tenant was there all spring and all summer, and he was having a cookout on the deck with no power at the house with his friends on the 4th of July. No power at the house. And we're like, okay, we don't know how they're managing this very well, but okay. Eventually, did the unlawful detainer, had the sheriff here. We're around here when you file an unlawful detainer, the sheriff comes out at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and they stay there while you change the locks. And then their stuff either has to go out on the curb or it gets locked in the house, and they have 24 hours access to retrieve it, which is usually not a good deal because you don't want them going back in after they're locked out.
Yeah.
So anyway, sheriff comes out finally, change the locks on the doors. Sheriff knows it's okay. He's out of there. They go in before we do and retrieve all the crack pipes and drug paraphernalia that was in there. Then we go in and literally took snow shovels, cleaning the stuff off of the carpet and putting it in bags, had gloves on. It was disgusting. And you could tell they had children. Oh, and then we found how they were doing the dishes. They had a dish rack set up in the bathtub, and they were just pouring, buckets to do the dishes in the bathtub. That's how they were doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the deal was. Oh, I know what the deal was. They weren't using the kitchen sink because the trap was gone. But I don't know where the trap went. Did they make a bong out of it? I have no idea. But the trap was gone off the kitchen sink, so they're washing dishes in the bathroom.
Well, when we bought that place I was telling you about where we had to clean it all up and remodel it, when we turned on the water in the kitchen, we were like, do you hear that? You hear that? And it's like, I think there's a leak underneath the crawl space, under the kitchen sink. So I crawl under there, and they had just cut off the drain, and we're letting the gray water spill into the crawl space.
Yeah, they don't care.
I was
they
like,
don't care.
What? Why? Turns out they had a grease clog, and they couldn't get the grease clog out or what. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I was just wow.
It's unbelievable what some people will do when they just exist and it's all just a game and they don't think about. I mean, when tenants steal from me, they're stealing from my ability to retire.
Oh, yeah.
Every time a tenant steals from me, that's longer. I have to try to find a way to work into old age.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. And they don't think like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, in that same house, when we first started working on it, I mean, I went in and I stripped all the walls and all that. And then we had Surfco come in and tent it with industrial, do not come in this dwelling for 3 days, stuff. And then they came back 2 weeks later with a different cocktail, and 2 weeks later with a different cocktail, just to kill all the vermin and roaches and whatever, you know what I mean? And my Surfco guy, Alan, I'll never forget Alan, because he looks just like Christopher Walken.
Okay. How cool is that?
Yeah,
it
was super cool.
Like too.
Yeah, and I asked him to, and he would do impersonations for me.
Man.
He's like, "You're talking to my guy all wrong. Do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron." But anyway, he was great. But he told me, he goes, "Oh, this ain't that bad." He's like, "I've seen worse than this with people living in it," and I'm like, "What?" He said, "I went to a house right down the road from here, and they were skinning a deer in their living room over the carpet with newspaper on the floor to catch the blood." I'm like, what?
Oh,
like, what?
man.
Yeah. It's just like,
I think 318 Will Run wants to come here and be a property manager for us. I mean, hey, we got
Heck
a job
yeah.
opening for you. You want to come be a property manager? I'll let you talk to Eric. He can hook you up.
yeah.
But you know what's funny is that like one of the guys that works with me, Jim, he has the best luck in the world with tenants. He has a golden horseshoe when it comes to tenants, and I'm exactly the opposite. He had a tenant come to him one time. He buys a house, nice house. The tenant gives him 12 checks on the first day for the full amount of the rent and says, "Oh, here you go. I don't want to forget to write one. Just put these in the bank one at a time each month."
Oh my.
And never called him for anything. And the place was nicer when they finished school and moved out. I'm like, I never get tenants like that. I'm so jealous. He just is so like he had a commercial building, which is really what I'd rather do is commercial. He has a commercial building downtown. Oh, if I could afford that place, it'd be the best shop. It's an old garage, but they had a motorcycle performance shop in it. It's next to Sheets here in town. And he had that building for 40 years before he had the first 2 months of vacancy in 40 years.
Wow.
The building paid for itself. If I had to guess, I bet that building paid for itself 3 times or 4 times.
Wow.
And meanwhile, I get these people that, steal the lawnmower, they leave, don't mow the grass the whole time they live there kind of people. Well, the one that quit paying her rent, she had a $16,000 diesel 4-wheel drive John Deere lawnmower.
Wow.
To mow 1 acre.
Nice.
To mow 1 acre.
Well, I mean, when you ain't paying rent, you can afford the good stuff.
Well, that's what I'm sitting here saying,
Yeah.
to mow 1 acre. And,
Well, I didn't want to be rude. I just want to say hey to LB. I'm glad he dropped in, and Ed's machine dropped in here. LB, I need you to email me too. You weren't in here earlier. I need your address so I can send you one of my stickers. So I just went ahead. I'm giving out stickers to all of the runner-ups that didn't make the first, second, or third spot. So,
well, I'll tell you what, Mike. Sometime we ought to get together for a live and do like masonry stories or something like that.
all right. Well, maybe I'll do a masonry tutorial whenever I get up there and start laying the blocks on the stables again. I'm getting ready to lay blocks on the second level whenever I put in the windows. I can show people how to lay sash blocks.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I don't know if you know what sash blocks are, but
yeah.
You know what a window sash is,
yeah.
And they have the slot on the end of them so that you can set your windows in there. And,
see, I don't know anything about that. Actually, you'd have been proud. I actually did a little tiny bit of concrete work a few weeks ago. It's like for me, I try to do about a gallon worth of concrete every 10 years. That tells you how good I am with it, right?
You don't want to drying up on you, right?
I had these 2 windows, and I actually, if I can find them, I'll pull them up here. But I put some windows in, and I wonder if I can do this. I might actually be able to come up with these. Yeah, I think I can. Okay, so this house had this wall that was rotten, and it rotted the picture windows out below it. So these right here, I don't know if you can see this or not. You see those 2 windows? We put them in, and those are the new windows. The old windows were rotten at the bottom all the way across where they actually sat down in that concrete cap.
Right.
And so we literally scooped out the rot, and then we said, well, you know what? This is a bad design because the water is never going to get out of here. Like the caulk was all that was keeping the water out. So we actually filled that trough with concrete and leveled it.
Yeah, see that should have had a ribbon across it to keep that out of there.
Well,
it should have had a brick roll-lock across there on a slant,
Right, correct.
Or even a stone, or a concrete, or a precast, or they even make the fake stone like that.
you'd think, but the way this was designed, it just set flat, and the water just rotted that whole window out from the bottom up.
Yeah.
So changed the windows, but had to do concrete in there, and we leveled it, and I like, okay, that's enough concrete for me for about another decade.
Yeah, and see what I would have done with that is I would have just cut out a course of that brick below the window, and then I just would have cut brick bats, which is just the end of a brick, and laid them side by side at an angle, and made a brick roll locker, a window sill off of it. But
I got to redo a little bit of brickwork on this house. I'm gonna get in touch with you about it. I'll show you what I did. I'll send you a picture. You'll get a kick out of it.
Well, you're probably only about 8 hours from me.
It's the best brickwork a 16-year-old could do, but I'll show it to you. If you want to come down and redo some carport brick, boy, we got the play. We got the job for you. We'll put you up, take care of you, and everything. But
I'm gonna say, what fingertips? Back when I was laying blocks and bricks all the
I
time,
bet you just
I could have got away with murder, literally, because I had no fingerprints at all. And now my fingerprints are not the same as they used to be. I mean, just because of all the scars and cuts and, all the abuse I put my hand, because these were my gloves when I was working,
I can't imagine you'd have any fingertips left handling block all day.
Yeah. And that's just it. I mean, you just get used to it, man. It's kind of like you see these people who run around barefoot all the time and their bottom of their foot is just a big callus.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how my hands were. My hands were just calloused all the time. Mm-hmm. My fingertips were just pretty much gone.
Yep. Wow. Cool stuff. It's fun to get off of cars and go on a tangent occasionally.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well,
I like that guy.
I won't tell Adam. Day 109, from where I'm sitting, there's only 7 hours and 16 and a half minutes left in day 109.
Yeah,
I'm be gone too.
I got to procure some 15-inch tires this week for the Blockbuster, because I'm taking it to that car show. Even if I have to put it on my trailer and take it up there, I'm going to go ahead and take it up there anyway, just because I want to get it out there and get it seen. And I'm hoping by next week to get started on the hood, because I got to get that front end done. I've already taken the bracing, the inner fenders and stuff out of the fenders, and I got to get the hood and the fenders tacked together so that I can start working on setting it on there, figuring out exactly where I'm going to cut my fenders for the flip front,
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So how you going to do a brace and then tack it all together and do your hinges and then cut it?
Well, so I've got it's pretty funny because where the front bumper lines up on the frame, because I didn't completely take out the original frame, it still has the bolt holes for the front bumper and all that. And I'm going to try to pivot it off of that. But yeah, I'm going to set it on there and just see where it lines up the best. And I'm thinking, if you look at Slaghammer, about how far he cut those fenders on the backside there, I'm looking at doing it kind of like that.
That was a nice way they did it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at on the hood and fenders, I got to see how rigid that's going to be, when I tack that together, to see how much play I've got in it. If I need to put some extra bracing in there. I mean, the one advantage I have is because the hood is, it's a rounded piece and it's got a lot of rigidity to it.
Yeah.
Just in its design.
Probably more than Slaghammers.
Right, exactly. But also it's probably heavier than Slaghammers. So
it is, but depending on where you put your flip point, see, a lot of people put the flip point so far forward, it puts a lot of stress. If you can get that flip point back closer to the center where the rear axle is, it'll kind of balance it a little bit and let it cantilever over. That would
Yeah.
be helpful, I would think.
Hmm.
So in other
Now-
words, instead of flipping everything over way past everything, which would give maximum access, and it certainly ain't going to tip the car over, anything like that, what if you were able to put your pivot point a little further back, and then let's say that it would tip down and kind of swing down low in the front, right in front of the front tires, but tip up high enough you can still get to everything, but now it's kind of balanced.
Yeah.
It's not all that weight you're picking up on the back.
Right. Because I definitely.
And then
I
if
wanna
you
make
work
it
on it, you still pull both
one-handed.
pins and take the whole clip.
Right. I want to make it where one person can just, grab it from either side, you
Yeah.
know.
Then if
Or-
you move your hinges back, one person could, because it would actually have some counterbalance.
Right. Or I might even just put a hand strap on it and, something
Yeah.
like that. 'Cause, I mean, right dead in the center of the hood. You know what I mean? I might just put a hand strap right there and just, I don't know yet.
I'll tell you what, Clint down there, Clint Street Machines, he's got some good fabrication stuff going. He'd be a good one to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love that he's putting a big block Mopar in that S10.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
cool. It's cool. I remember that car when it was had no front frame rails, and it was just a 4-door vacant body that looked like something raccoons would live in. And they've turned it into a real car, and I'm impressed. He used to sit on Tony's back lot at his old shop, and it had no front frame rails. The front frame rails had been cut off and sold for another car back when he had the Mid-South Mopars and selling parts.
Okay.
So this thing was literally just a 4-door empty cab. And from that, they were going to try to turn it into something for the dirt track. And
Right. I saw that. They were going to do the off-road
then
thing
it went on
with
the
it.
truck frame because Jim Bennett had the truck frame.
Right.
So
Right.
it
I
was just
remember he had
strange how all
that.
that worked out.
Man, that's crazy how much work he did on that rear quarter. I was just like,
Golly.
chop it out and replace it.
You know what I told Al? I said, Al, you do realize that you could have made that a 68 Coronet quarter panel with the same amount of work and no one would have known the difference, right?
I was just like, wow.
I mean,
Oh. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mike, I'm going to let you get. I got a little bit of work I got
All
to
right.
for tonight, but thanks for having me on, man.
Oh,
Always
yeah.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. And
Blast.
guys, I'm going to have to get off here too. It's running late. I'm going to have to get to work. You know. I put it off as long as I can.
I'm doing something kind of fun, though. I've got this giant sign in my garage that I keep telling myself I want to put it up, but then I keep finding something else that goes where I should put it. I found this at a yard sale several years ago. It's an old Castrol GTX sign that was up at a lube place, right? And it's lighted. And the last year that Forrest was racing for Castrol, I got him to sign it.
Nice.
So it's a pretty cool garage piece, but I can't get myself to put it where I need to. So I'm going to move it to a building so I got some room to work. So I'm going to be going down the road with that today. That'll be fun.
Right on. That's
Anyway.
awesome.
I'll see you, Mike.
Well,
Thanks for having me, buddy.
All right, sir. Well, you have a good one, man, and I will see you. When's your next live coming up?
Well, we'll have Clint Street Machines on Wednesday at 10 Eastern after Uncle Tony's Garage. So whenever Tony wraps his live, we're going to have Clint Street Machines on. And then Friday, we've got some cool announcements to make for the No Name Nationals.
Right on.
We've got a few cool things to tell you about. One of them, you'll just have to wait and see. The only thing I'll tell you is we're adding another class.
Awesome.
And it is going to be exciting.
Now, are you going to do maybe a special random live for Bubba Ayers?
Yeah, so Bubba's close, and I'm happy to get together with Bubba. He's close, and just kind of I'm looking at the rate he's gaining subs, and yeah, I'm happy to get together with any of the No Name 500 guys when we're getting close. Any of them.
Fantastic.
If they would just reach out to me at just the right time, like you did, it'd be perfect. But I'm always every 2 days I watch the list. So Bubba
Right
Ayers,
on.
and then Mongrels, and then Levi, and Big Block 402. Those are the four that are in the 400s right now, and I'm happy to have any and all of them. What actually would be pretty cool is if Levi and if all four of them were to somehow, because Levi and Big Block 402, Stephen, they're gaining subs at a faster rate, but they have more to go. And so is Mongrels. It would be kind of interesting if they all wound up getting about 490 at the same time. That would be neat.
Nice.
And get,
that would be.
Get 4 channels, all 4 in the 400s over 500 at the same time.
That would be really cool. We do a marathon kind of thing.
It could happen. I'd do
Awesome.
a 24-hour one if they were all close enough. That might be a gas. You know?
Wow. Yeah, right on.
Anyway, we'll
all right,
see.
guys.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
And
Later, buddy.
yes, sir. We'll see you later, brother. And for everyone else, man, we'll go through the list one more time. If you guys might happen to be on here or know someone's on here, just going to go through the list of our winners. Obviously, unfinished project named the Coronet the Blockbuster. He had 14 likes. The second one was Smacky's Garage with the Coronet, and he had 5 likes. And I had a 3-way tie for third place with Mopar Mitch, Bubba Ayers, Bad Tree Productions with 3 likes apiece. And they were the Hoopty Doopty, and 51 Problems, or Area 51. You know who you are. All right, you guys all get a t-shirt. And everyone else is getting a sticker that participated. Out of Order Garage, Stan Nelson, Hubie's Garage, Buck Does It, Tom Cook, Terry Grover, Mike Lingo, D. Scaglione, T.I. Mopar 67, Dizzy Izzy, 162 Customizing, Willie Do It, Betty Don't, Best Off-Road Outlaw, LB Bruins, Buff's Garage, Hemi Hog, and just D, which I believe that's my cousin Denny. Track and Travel with Rick, Wendy English, Rich 220 Automotive Restoration, Jupiter Mustang Mike, and Jeff Holinda. If you are one of those guys or know those guys, everybody just shoot me an email. It's on my homepage. And give me your address and I'll get sending out stickers. So anyway, it's been fun, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out this afternoon. And I got to get out of here. I got to go take care of business in the farm. So, all right, guys, we'll see you all later.